Hello and welcome to All My Art and Soul. I'm Michelle Holden, the artist behind the channel. And this week I thought I'd start the introduction to the video a little bit differently, introduce you to my studio, at least part of the studio. It's in the sun. It's March break, enjoying. I'm going to try to get as much work done as I can. And this week's video, I'm going to focus on trying to replicate the feeling of this page, which was affirmation number 4 of this year, 2023. And I really loved this feeling, the layering, and why. It's because it's, I have all my notes on the back, I'll show you in a moment. Lighter value painting, less collage, and at least holding off the collage pieces until the very end, and a lot more line and energy and flow. And of course, I forget what the affirmation was. It had to do with energy, positive energy flows through me. And it was a very wonderful feeling. So I thought, that's the feeling I'm looking for. I'm going to see if I can explore these colors and values again, of course being similar but not the same. So that's why this week's video is called A Lighter Value Painting Exploration. So let's get started with creating the feeling of this page. Hello and welcome to All My Art and Soul. And as I said in my much different introduction, I want to explore more the feeling of this particular page as I'm looking less at other people's work and trying to look and reflect on my own, and going through this process and trying to move forward. So that's what this week is about. This week's video or mixed media abstract journal page is about. And my intention is a lighter value painting with line and a beautiful translucent, transparent layers and a beautiful flowing energy. So let's see what happens. And I've selected, and I like how it's going to be live instead of live narration rather than the voiceover, which saves me a lot of editing. Oh, I don't mind doing it though, especially if I'm looking for a different kind of video, especially for my affirmation art videos. But this week I thought, let's do it. And it's a beautiful, as you can see the light coming in here, a beautiful sunny day. Hopefully winter is on its way out and we can enjoy. I know people south of us are getting maybe the snow that we were supposed to get, but you know, hey. So here is a possible solution, a possible stencil that I might use. And I'll show you what I wrote on my page. And here's my selection of just minimal color, but lots more line and translucent collage pages. Okay? Now, I rewatched my video, which is so helpful because it's the sequence of the layers is what I'm interested in. So on this side, it says the colors: cerulean blue, yellow oxide, cad red hue, deep, I believe. It's right, was right here. Oh yes, here it is. Cadmium red, deep hue. Okay. And how I started with a very thin layer of parchment, and then I started my lines. And I was using my color shaper more, and probably just with a little dash of water spray to keep that flow. And then as you can see, and I will post this if you're interested I'll take a picture, I'll leave it on the end, or somehow similar layers, but I'm going to talk you through all of my layers and why and how I'm using them. So I've added different paints, marks, thinking of opposites, and didn't come in with a collage until number 5 right here. And then adding some more paint. So I want to keep that in mind, but I don't want it to restrict me either. So here's the beautiful colors, and I'm just going to have it to the side so I can glance at it, but I don't want to be reliant on it. That's the word I'm looking for. So I'm going to put it, excuse the hands and the arm reaching, right here beside the camera. Yes, so it's out of view. Okay. So I've got my paints out. I didn't put white out yet, and that's just going to be the titanium white and the transparent white. So let's see, let's move my palette in so you can see me mixing. And I don't want this video to be too long because I want it to be more responsive and then just let things happen. So of course I'll stop talking so I can have little sections where I can fast forward and then come on back in and do the live narration. So let's start with, now the affirmation was line with pencil, so I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to start with some line. And this time I'm going to change it up. And I'm going to use Posca marker. But not everywhere. I want to go off the page. Okay, that's all I want. We'll come in later with that. Make sure it's dry. Then I'm going to use the larger color shaper. No water, because I'm not sure how it's going to... But I will dip it in some water. Now, if you're working on smooth paper, like a poster board type or hot pressed, the color shaper does amazing things. If you've seen my little pieces, the little 6x6, I usually have them. I've got everything within an arm's grab length. Here's those little cards. Now they're okay, but they're not thick enough, so they curl up a lot. But what I did is put them under a heavy book, and they flattened out just fine. So much happier about that. And okay. I realize I did not grab paper towel. So in the comments below, let me know which you prefer, live narration. And I don't, you know what, in the end, I don't really think it matters. It's just one step less that I have to do. And this is just an exploration. I've got a mixed media sketch pad just for that. It's a little smaller, but I wanted something this size for today. It's just a better visual for yourself. And I'm just going to make sure we have enough light and focus here. That's what I'm doing. There we go. Now, my intention, again, line, flow, layers of marks, very translucent, transparent layers, and ending up with a lighter value, but with using these 3 colors. More gray, I find, is what the feeling is. Somehow that's what it's calling for. And I'm liking that I'm getting out of just this horizontal feeling or direction in my mark making, trying to, there we go. So while it's wet, yes. So you can get the golden or any paint that has a slow drying, but if you get it, if you scratch through right away, and depending on what's underneath there, these marks will show up. So I think a little bit more. And I'm liking the differences here. Now I didn't do the gloss medium along the edge. But if this was going to be, you know, a nice piece that, you know, I don't even want to go there in my thinking, right? It would stop a lot of the bleeding. That I would really use if I was going to be using a lot more water. So I really watered it down this time. I want to see if I can, yes. So I will dry this. So I'm just going to use a little cerulean, some black, and add the white. Oh, a little more black because I want it more towards a grayish tone. And I've got a little bit of this gloss. I don't know if it'll make it that transparent, but, and let's move this over so you can see it better. There we go. Okay, now scumbling. So this is what I like to do. So I'm putting a layer over, but I don't want it solid. I want those beautiful layers underneath to show through. So I'll change the hue, the strength of the hue, or the value as I move in a particular direction. Ooh, that's nice. just bringing that brayer across. I love how it lifts, and it may or may not just, make some extra marks. Okay. So as we know, or as you may or may not know, following similar order of layers can be done if, so I'm reaching for my notes here, rather than looking at the piece, I wanted to know what I did next. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow oxide now, and where I'm gonna go in is where the parchment is peeking through. To me, oh, this isn't yellow oxide. I changed it. This is Naples yellow because I wanted a lighter one, and it's really nice. I'm really liking the Naples over the really strong yellow oxide or yellow ochre. I can see already where it needs to go. Ooh, no, I want that to be more yellow. There it is. So I like that mark. I'm going to use just the other side of this to lift, and I want to put it over here. Yes. Okay, I think I might extend that a little bit. Okay. Nice. Okay. Okay. So, maybe. And I'm liking this effect. Why is that there's layers of line way at the beginning underneath with transparent layers, and then you've got another layer of line on the top, and maybe in a different way, different thickness, maybe different type of mark, I'll put it above it, so you really show the depth of layers. And now I didn't use this in the other one, and that's what I love, so I'm not trying to replicate it. It's just, of course, I want to overlap, maybe reach here. That's it. All right. Okay. Now, that's why. So I've got a really thick one here. And okay. Just doing what just happens naturally, or following my intuitive thinking here, with and balancing intuition and intention. So that's something that's really, really cool to do. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to dry that. So now for that peachy tone. Let's see. So I put it down by the white. Beautiful. But it needs a little gray. I don't want anything too peachy. Muted tones are better, I think anyway. Since the blue is, all right. Oh wow, really cool. So I may or may not like that, just thinking. And I'm just letting some shapes sort of happen here. So I know I'm going to be coming in with some stenciling, but I really like this going on. It may be too strong, so I'll just use some of the lines to guide. So I'm thinking in threes, bringing the eye around, and I like that shadow effect there. Let's lift it up a bit. Okay. So right now I see too much of that going on to sort of, but you know what? It might work, might not work. I might end up liking the feeling of different areas of this one, but let's just keep on going. So I love the color scrapers for lifting as well. Okay, interesting. Okay. So this piece of collage has some interesting lines. It's got a little of the green that's going on. So now there's a little more green happening in this one compared to the other one. I don't know. Okay, I think it's time for some collage. Where did that piece go? Oh, well, okay then. I thought I had another piece. Yes. And I don't know if I want it that big, but I think I do. Okay, so that's pretty dry. So I'm going to try the thinner since it goes on. It's a thin piece. We don't need to use the extra thick this stuff. Heavy gel, gloss heavy gel. This is just regular gel. Now, let's see. Yeah, I like it like this. Whoops. Oh yeah, it works way better. So your thin collage papers, sometimes it takes me a while to find out something. In order to spread the thick one, I had to push too hard. So now, yeah, that's great. So I'll dry that because I want to add some more lines. Interesting. So that's just the regular titanium white. I think I would have even had a better effect if I used the transparent white. So I'm just spritzing it with a little bit of water. I'm going to see if it can handle it. Yes, it can. That is awesome. Yeah, just didn't want it so thick. Okay. So this is a really strong yellow. I don't mind it. Just needs a little ochre or something. So now I think I need some collage. Right there. And this stuff, since it's the parchment tracing paper, so you can hear that it's fairly thick but very transparent, so it can really withstand a lot. I want to put it, oh, this is so much better, this side, because it's diagonally across from that yellow. I'm going to put it right in the corner, and I love that you can see some of the blue underneath there. So let me know if you like the live narration or the voiceover narration. I think I'm pretty good at this kind of thing, but if I'm in the middle of some, painting and everything, I won't do the live because it would, I need to focus more, but who knows? So I want to carry over some of that. Okay. Just a really thin layer here. It's because it was too, I don't know, stripy or something. I don't know. It was bugging me. And when I'm in the middle of this, sometimes I won't know why. It's just instinctive. But afterwards, it's a good idea to reflect as to why it was bugging me. Okay, I think that's enough line. I think. That's just a great big black blob in the middle. So, we're going to take care of that. Just break it up a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll place it down and I look into the video view. It's like a generation away, and that helps me see, just taking a step back in a way. Got enough line, so I need, no, I think I need, it's stencil time. It is stencil time. Maybe. And I don't know if these are going to work. That seems pretty harsh. Such a contrast. Ooh, there we go. I might like more gray all together. Just sort of, no. Maybe this was a good idea. Interesting. Maybe not so much, but definitely. So I'm thinking of covering that up because the eye's just staying on that big black blob. But I think I need to add a gray. And I don't want it entirely, disappearing entirely. And what I'm playing with is, what's the value that needs to go in here? So I think the blue is a little better. Yes. And we'll continue that down here. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's amazing what was at the beginning here. And you just sort of learn to let go. Yes, this is nice. It's melting into the background and disappearing somewhat. Okay, all right, so I'm going to dry that up. So I'll Okay, so sometimes I forget that I'm doing a live narration, so tell them what you're doing. So I'm just putting this down. I like this it's sort of like a burnt edge, but it's from coffee. Newsprint paper, marks. You can see some of my stencils on there from my circles. What I'm liking is the neutral it's picking up. And we're changing this section in here. We're changing the characteristics. So I'm not liking the hard edge there. I want more of a torn. And I'm liking that. So that's what you can do. Different areas that you're not really keen on, you can just maintain the feeling, and this is the parchment tissue paper. So I'm loving that and alternating this area. And I think I'm going to go for it here. So it's a lot different. Probably should have waited until it dried, but so a soft edge, somewhat horizontal, but somewhat not. Interesting. So I might go in after that dries, so I'll dry that. Maybe, I'm not sure. Right now, I'm looking for, there it is, this one, same stencils as the one that I showed you at the beginning, but of course, look how different they are. And, oh yeah, definitely. Okay, so just using a little piece of sponge here, and I think that's what I want. So I want it to overlap from the dark area, and I don't want them totally solid. I just want them to peek through. Okay. And needing a little more white. I think the transparent white will work better if it's a roll. There it is. So I'll just put that right there. Just use the other side. Yeah. Since this is white here, I'm going to carry over. See how you can see it's the opposite? So the white line will show, or here it'll be the organic sort of rectilinear shapes. And I think that's what I want. And I want it very thin. Yes. Yes, that is good. And I just overlap, and I like that I'm going to go right over this collage piece and push it back a little bit. Interesting. And I think I'll do a little bit more down here where this white is, but not everywhere. Yes. So you see at those lines I want to carry, so it's like a piece underneath here, so it's sort of weaving through. And okay, that's good. Okay, so we're almost done. Almost done. I think I like that idea. I don't want to put too much in there, and it's not quite dry, so not too much more to go. Okay, I'm going to go for the black. I don't know. Something's telling me it's something I wouldn't do, so I'm just going to do it. Well, let's do less because I can always add more. And I'm just thinking about a row here. 2 rows. Yes, it is interesting. They're very different. Very different shapes or edges even. And we'll just do these really lightly. Ooh, that's a nice effect. It might be very horizontally. It's definitely not the same vertical feel, but I think what I could do to solve that is, if I could find my corrugated card. This piece of cardboard loves to hide on it. No. Again, it doesn't go. I tried to put it in the last one. Oh, where did you go? There you are. Okay. All right. And I think this one needs to be symmetrical. Just because of the composition that it ended up with, which is very different from the other one. Very light. I think I'll redo it. Okay. Okay. I don't know. It's not bad. I definitely could use darker dark up here. How far down? It's telling me. So I'm liking the black. Okay, so I'm just looking at it now just to see if it has anything more to say. Something's bothering me about it. It needs a little more something. It's busy, maybe it needs some quieting down. No, I don't want to bring in more. Not my intention to start with, but interesting. Since it's symmetrical, yep, it's just bringing the eye up. And I will push that back. I'm going to let it dry a bit. You know, I don't know if I like that, but I'm going to leave it because it's going to make me respond to do something else different. And I'm going to push it back with that. was when the Collage. Okay, so I'll let that dry and I'll glaze that so it's a lot more subtle. See how this stencil worked on that page, but you know, every page is different. Okay, let's come in. So this is just a pastel, of course, and I'm picking up some of this peachiness and bringing it up here to push, or just to carry some uniformity throughout this piece. So, what would work up here? Something subtle. Nice. Maybe some blue. This is stronger blue though, but it's interesting. We could do that. Okay. All right. Something else. Maybe it's because this isn't strong enough. I'm going to do that. Feeling. So I have to find where I left off. There it is. Okay. So that's a little better coming up from this area. Much better. About 7 areas, so that's sort of cool. I don't want to do that, no. Okay. Carrying on some of these lines might be interesting. I remember doing that in the other one, at a different stage, of course. And I will probably do a little sprinkle with black. And I think I'm going to stop this page while I'm ahead. I don't want it to get too busy. No, I don't want to do that. I want to leave those subtle. Find the white. I don't know if the paint's dry. Okay. So again, maybe the third or the fourth one. I sort of like this one. I'm not sure. The first one where, you know, there was a lot less thinking going on and spontaneity is always the better. But let's see. Nope, not enough water. Really makes a difference. So just up here. maybe a little through here. Okay. Interesting. Still don't know how I feel about it. Still missing something. Here, just seems a little, that's not bad, but why not? Too much the same, too central, too symmetrical, don't like it. Nope. No. Okay. So I'm just putting blocks of value over just to see if that could be the answer. No, it needs to be black up there. So that's just refining, making that edge show up more. I don't know. It does help. So it's contrast. Okay, well, let's dry these layers and see what we have. Oop. Oh, that's all right. Oh, look at that. It's tearing right along the edge. Interesting. So keeping in mind your intent, definitely need the X-Acto knife here. So, and it works because it's almost dry. Oh. Okay, so just a little bit of bleeding through there. No big deal. So in the end, I like the tones. I like how they're similar. I like this area. I like the bottom. Let's just say I like the bottom half of it more than the top half. But, you know, after it sits around for a couple of days, I might tweak it a little bit. Maybe it did need more parchment. See, now that that's there, who knows what the answer might be. But I'm going to stop right now because this was just an explorative page. So I hope you enjoyed this video. and learn something like I did, and making a lighter value page with many translucent, transparent layers and line. So I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hop on over to the Facebook group. And well, there's many, I'll have an interesting little lesson this Sunday, Studio Sundays, every Sunday at noon. My affirmation pages are coming out every Thursday at 4. And this one will be out tomorrow at noon as well. So, see you in the next video.